Before today's episode of Same Business, Different Day, I want to invite you to listen to Velocity, the Vista Chamber podcast, where we interview the movers, shakers, and changemakers of Vista, California. Watch Velocity on YouTube or tune in on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Overcast, or wherever you get your podcasts. Velocity, moving Vista forward.
How'd you get here?
I got here because my mentor pushed me out. And I knew I wanted to get out, but I was scared. Like I said before, my parents, coming from a really close-knit family, like both their parents even know each other, their family members. I have so many aunts and uncles and stuff like that. And leaving was very uncomfortable, but I knew if I want to blossom into, and that's where bloom comes from. If I wanted to blossom into the woman I always knew I could be, I had to step out of my comfort zone and do something that my family, my parents, no one ever done.
Same business, different day.
Good afternoon. You're at the right place on your time. Welcome back to the Same Business, Different Day podcast. I am your host, Zeke Corley, recording from our studio here at the Film Hub. I want to say Happy New Year since we're recording this first week of 2022, and also welcome those of you that don't know about Meraki season. A season spawned from one networking event in late October 2021. There were so many talented and inspiring business owners in attendance that I didn't even have a chance to meet this young lady that we're speaking to today. Our guest has made a business out of, not yet. I can't say that yet. Well, let's just say that our guest is in the business of happiness and productivity. And since finding a healthy balance of business and pleasure is what this show is built on, it makes perfect sense to have Shaniece Benson on the Same Business, Different Day podcast.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Welcome, Shaniece. I really appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you. So the way we're going to format the show, we're going to get to know you a little bit first, and then we'll talk more about what you do later. But we really kind of want to start at the beginning with you.
Sounds good.
All right. Where'd you grow up?
Well, I grew up in Boston. Well, I was born in Boston, grew up in New Hampshire.
Okay. Yeah. And what was that like? I mean, did you spend many years in Boston or?
So I ended up leaving Boston when I was 6 years old. Okay. My parents wanted to get out of the city and go up to the suburbs. Okay. At that time, I didn't know what New Hampshire was, but all I know, it was more colder.
Okay. Colder than Boston?
Yeah. So Boston's pretty cold.
Freezing,
yeah.
Okay.
And New Hampshire's the same. It's only an hour away, which was perfect because we was still able to be around our family. We have a close-knit family from both sides. So it gave us
in that area.
Yeah, in Boston.
Okay.
But so New Hampshire is where we grew up at, though. Mm-hmm. My parents just wanted us to live not in the city, more in a small town, and then whenever we want to go and have fun, be with family, we're an hour away.
So you did spend some time in Boston as well.
Oh yeah, a lot.
Now, there's a misnomer.
Okay.
That there's not a lot of black folks in Boston, but I know that's not true. I mean, even Bell Biv DeVoe, New Edition, all of those guys are from Boston, right? There's a long list of people from Boston. I mean, I know kind of the reputation that Boston has, but you were in a different area, I guess.
Yes. Okay. It's a lot of black folks in Boston, just to clear that up.
Patrice O'Neal, that's another one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a lot of black folks in Boston. But the thing is, out there, it was more segregated. So honestly, I didn't see the first nationality or something outside when I was young, outside of being black. I didn't see it until I was 7. Oh. Well, not 7 because I went to New Hampshire, but I would have to say that I seen it maybe when I was 5 before I moved to New Hampshire. Right. Because you kind of stay where you are located. Like there's different, what is it called? Like there's different towns and you stay in your town. You don't leave that particular city part. So
yeah, I mean, and that's pretty much, especially years ago.
Yeah.
Kind of across the board. If you got everything here, you don't have to go other places.
Exactly.
And so that's kind of how it's set up systemically, right?
Yes.
Now, you probably had like influences that were good for you growing up, right? Early on.
Yes. Definitely my mom. My mom gave me like so much wisdom growing up. She basically, she did a lot of things a lot faster. So she wanted to make sure. And what I mean by that, she had her first child when she was 15.
Okay.
So when she wanted us to get away from the city, she wanted us to live a different type of lifestyle. Mm-hmm. And with that being said, she gave me all the wisdom that she had growing up. And so I won't make the same mistake. Mm-hmm. The main thing is she wanted me to make sure that I did not get pregnant at a teenage age, mm-hmm. That I went to college and things like that.
Give yourself a chance to expand on your life and not just be
exactly
stuck in this one place doing this other job.
Exactly.
Which is raising a child, which is obviously still important.
It's a beautiful thing, but when you're ready.
Depends on what age you want to start doing it, right? And how many things get cut out if you did.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's great, though. I mean, that she was still able to do that because she was still growing up herself.
Yeah, she grew up. We all grew up with her together because I have 4 other siblings.
Okay.
So my parents, they've been together since they were 17.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're still together. Okay. So and we grew up with them. I considered my parents to be pretty young because they had us so young, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. But that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, and they probably, as long as they're not just running away trying to go get their childhood now.
No. But they're definitely enjoying themselves because all their kids are grown.
That's good. Now, are you the oldest?
No, I'm the youngest.
Oh, really?
I'm the baby.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So what's that like, though? What's life like being the baby? And I mean, are your older siblings, were they independent? Were they strong? Were they influences on you as well?
They definitely were influences, but at a lot of times, although I was the youngest, my parents looked at me to be the oldest because of the way my mindset was when I was young.
Okay.
Like basically I already knew what I wanted out of life. And because certain things, mistakes, I guess, were made in my family, mm-hmm. I just, being the youngest, I observed all of that.
Sure.
And I'm like, okay, that's what I don't want. Okay. But this is what I want. Mm-hmm. So I was able to take out some of the strong suits from each sibling and see what I want to build into myself.
I love that. That's called being an old soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were perceptive and you knew what to do with that information.
Yes.
That's key. Right? Because there's a lot of people getting information. That's kind of what this show is all about, right? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things I say this show is all about, but there's a lot of things this show is about. And one of those things is the ability to take information and even learn from others' mistakes, right? Yeah. Because as we talk about your journey and everybody's journey, my journey as well, there's some mistakes that I made moving into entrepreneurship and all that others don't have to do.
Yeah.
Right? They can make a different decision, or they can make the decision that I made and have, lose a year trying to get back. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, I really like that. So were there entrepreneurs around you?
Actually, no.
The Film Hub is the future of co-working in downtown Vista. Get energized in an inspiring work environment that is built for your success. With multiple membership options for workspace and private offices, you can become a part of our co-working community. The Film Hub makes it easier to produce the professional content your business needs. From video production, live streams, photo shoots, or in-person events, you can create all this and more in our audio and video facilities. Love your work and where you accomplish it. The Film Hub.
Hi, I'm Jeff Fox, founder of Star Fox Media. We're a digital marketing and video production company that focuses on serving small businesses here in Vista, California. We have the team and all of the equipment necessary to produce, film, edit, and distribute your podcast to as many people as possible. For more information, you can reach out to us via email at info@starfox.media or give us a call at 760-385-3117. Let Star Fox Media help you tell your brand story today.
Saving for your finances can be difficult and scary, but when you have the right people around you, it doesn't have to be. My fiance and I understand it's not just about creating a legacy, but also building and serving one another. And that's what we're here to do. Brett and I bring back the fine in finances. We can do everything from saving for your children's future, also building a legacy for yourself. Our mission is no family left behind, and we truly stand behind our mission. You can reach out to us by either following us on Instagram at PipkinBrett or at The Fierce Female Financier, or you can just simply give us a call, 402-617-0645. Looking forward to serving and helping you.
There wasn't any of that. A lot of the mentors that I picked up, I kind of obviously chose them, and they didn't know they were my mentor, but I was basically just watching, sponging everything they did. And I worked at the first bank the first job I worked at was a bank. And I was 17 and a half, they hired me. And my manager, she traveled all around the world. And she would always tell me, Shaniece, after you're done with college, you have to get out of here. Or before college, get out of here. Because you need to learn more. You need to see more.
Out of New Hampshire?
New Hampshire.
Okay.
New Hampshire. Because that's where I grew up.
Now, was there not much to see in New Hampshire?
Oh, my goodness.
Tell me the truth. I've never been.
No.
I'm not sure I'm going.
No. I don't want to say it wouldn't be a great trip if you are more into nature and things like that.
Okay.
It's very beautiful, New Hampshire is. I can't deny that. But there's not so many opportunities. Yeah. So it's a safe place to grow up, which is awesome.
That's important.
That's very important.
Yeah.
So I understand why my parents picked that place. Mm-hmm. And I have a lot of childhood friends that I'm still friends with to this day. But to me, I'm just going to be honest with you, there was banks, there were shopping stores. There wasn't a lot of opportunity. We had one little mall if you wanted to expand. So my thing was, if I can't, when I turned 17 and got my license, I was always in Boston because it was only an hour away.
Okay.
It wasn't really much to do in New Hampshire.
I see.
It wasn't a lot.
Okay, I'm not going to get into what there is to do in Boston. I know it's a big city.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
So now tell me this, though. Why a bank for your first job? Is that just really just the kind of job that was around and available to you? Or were you interested in finance or?
Actually, I could pick either retail, which I tried that. So I don't even call it my first job because I only stayed at it for maybe 3 to 4 months, and I'm just I'm done.
It wasn't for you.
It was not for me. I thought because I can get discounts on my clothes, I'm good. No. So the bank was for me because I wanted to be around a lot of people that have went to college before, because I wasn't in college yet at that age, and that I can learn from. I just knew that structure, I would be able to expand and go from there, because I know they had marketing in there. They had different departments within that bank. So
you knew all of this at 17 and a half.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I did my research.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So then, to be a researcher, the way you're researching, clearly you find your education in many ways.
Yes.
Right. Now, another way that you find your education is in school, right?
Yeah.
You stayed in school.
I did.
Yeah. And how was school? Going to school in New Hampshire and before college even.
Yeah. So school was cool. I'm not. One of the things I can say is that I had no problem having a lot of friends. It was just a very, I'm just thinking about the moments that we had. My brother I had an older brother, so I knew for a fact no one's gonna mess with me.
Okay.
And so I feel like I had that on my back. And then he was just very popular and very out there.
Okay.
So everyone knew me as his sister. So it was just very easy in school, if that makes sense.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
Not everybody has different experiences.
Yeah.
Right. And some folks are bullied.
Yeah.
Right. Some folks are, the star of the school.
Yeah.
Some folks are jocks and it goes downhill after that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And some folks are just there with their head in the books, just trying to pick up the information, trying to get to college, trying to get out of state.
Yes.
Trying to go to the military.
Yep.
You know, so I've had all of these stories.
Yep.
But your story matters, right? You had somebody that kind of was around for you, and you had a reputation just because you were the sister of.
Exactly. We went to separate schools, but like I said, New Hampshire is very small.
You didn't say that. Is it very small? See? Okay. Now I know. Not a lot of schools.
So we went to separate schools.
Mm-hmm.
I made a name for myself doing track and field.
Okay.
So I went to 2 different high schools, and when I went to the second one, because my parents moved to a different side, so you have to, if you're in that school district, you have to go to that particular school.
Mm-hmm.
And with that being said, I was just like, okay, how am I gonna find friends my junior year? You know, right away I'm just like, let me start track. Let me get into a sport. And I was like, okay, track would probably be good. Right from there, basically.
You had some wisdom early. You had all the answers. You seem to have all the answers. Let's just make sure that everybody has your contact information just in case you got a question, because you got all the answers. I love this because track is a smart move. Right?
Yeah.
You get that social contact, and it's not necessarily about popularity, but it's also about acceptance. You're going to a completely new school.
Yes.
Right? And you need to be able to make some friends and have somebody that
everyone has their cliques.
So what were the sports? I mean, not the sports, the events, because I ran track as well.
So I did the 55, the 100, the 200, 300, and they still, with the 55 and the 100, they still did not beat my time at all. I actually ended up being like the fastest in the school and stuff like that, and I hold record times there.
Yeah.
And I thought, like, man, if I would have started this earlier, maybe I should have did this in college. Maybe I should have kind of positioned myself to do this in college.
Yes, I like that. No, I mean, I'm not going to throw my name out there now because I don't have any records at my school.
But you did do track. So.
Oh, yeah, I loved it. 100, 200, 4x100 relay, long high and triple jump.
Yep.
Yeah, I was out there. I loved it. And it, like you said, it's great. It's an individual sport, but you still have a team.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's all on you, but you still have a team. And so you travel together, and you got to, maintain relationships that I still have to this day.
Exactly.
Yeah. So shout out to school. Shout out to high school.
Yes. It's West High School.
West High School.
In Manchester, New Hampshire.
All right. Now, you went to Southern New Hampshire University after that.
Yes.
So you decided to stay local.
I did. And I only did that because my parents were not going to pay my loans back.
Okay.
So what I did was I decided, let me go to a community college, get most of all my credits there, and it's a lot cheaper. And then right after that, go transfer it over to Southern New Hampshire. And that's exactly what I did.
Smart move, right? I mean, nowadays, my son is in Miracosta Community College. First 2 years free.
Yep.
You're talking about inexpensive.
That's what I'm talking about.
Free.
I
right?
love
it's
it.
So smart, right? And then, after that, then we go to university. Easier to get in.
Yeah.
And you got most of it already done and paid for.
And honestly, Zeke, I think that your son did a good job by going to a community college, because a lot of times, just to be honest with you, you don't know what the heck you want to do.
Exactly.
You have no clue what you want to do. So you're going to spend the first 2 years
spending
thousands of dollars.
Yes.
Thousands of dollars. Mm-hmm. And at that time, you get to meet people, connect with people. But then also, if you're like me, you'll be speaking to your counselor often.
Right.
To ask questions and basically already start thinking about internships, because that's the way to go to figure out what you want.
That's a great piece of advice. That's super smart. And, I encourage a lot of folks to do it, because even from there, some might just move off into trade school or something like that. Like you said, they're not sure what they want to do anyway. Spend some time in college and figure out if that's really for you, what you're going to do from there. So tell me more about jobs. Now, did you work through college?
Yes, I had to. So basically, I worked at the credit union. So I started at Forever 21, knew it wasn't for me. And then I transferred right over to working at the credit union, because I knew that there would be some type of flexibility, but I can also get some experience, and maybe I can do my internship there. Those are the thoughts I was having. So I did end up doing my internship there.
Okay. So what were you majoring in?
I majored in marketing.
Okay.
I majored in marketing and then minor in sociology.
And an internship at the credit union
Was
helps-
marketing.
Oh, marketing.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. You were saying that earlier about the different departments within the bank
Yes.
that actually you can work in. I never even thought of that. You know, when you think of a bank, it's just like finance. But there are other departments there where you could get some experience. and
Oh,
learn
yes.
from. Yeah. Working in a bank.
Yep.
I don't know. A lot of people aren't big fans of bankers nowadays.
I
you gotta
know.
tell them, look, I only do marketing.
That is true. That is true.
So, tell us about some tools that you picked up early on in the business world. Things that, I mean, clearly marketing, right?
Yes.
But I'm sure, relationships. There's things that you may be using today in your business.
Yeah.
The way that you approach business today. What kind of things did you pick up in the corporate world? And I'm saying that only because, some of your listeners today might be saying, I'm in this corporate job. I'm stuck in this job and I wish I could start my own thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But they also could be sponging, right? They could be picking up some information, acting like a boss, figuring out the ins and outs of business before they go and start their own business. So there's got to be some things, especially for a wise young lady like yourself who knew all the answers before everything.
I don't know about that.
But
Yeah.
there were some things that you were soaking up. You were like, this makes sense.
Yes.
I should keep this, use this. What kind of things were tools?
I would have to say is just, network. Network and find mentors. If you're not doing currently, if you're basically doing something you don't want to do, put yourself out there. You know what I mean? Like, let people know who your name is. And what I got out of that is I had a really good manager. She went by my schedule and everything like that when it came down to school. She made sure school was priority for me. But my main thing was she was always pushing me like, Shaniece, I know you did your college years here. That's smart. I understand that. But now, right after, you have to get out of here. Do not get stuck here doing the day-to-day, because she's like, it's easy to do that. Get out of here. You need to expand yourself. You need to see more. And just having a mentor that I looked up to,
That's a
and just
great mentor.
Always just trying to surround myself with, so I would pick certain things about people like, oh, I like how she does that.
Yeah.
Or I like how he does that. Or maybe I can figure more. Just ask a lot of questions. That's the thing. I asked a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Some people probably got sick of me, but.
Hey, I think, well, okay, some people I believe are natural mentors.
Yeah.
Okay. And I believe that those natural mentors are waiting for someone to ask them questions.
Yes.
And a lot of folks don't. A lot of folks don't know where to go to ask the questions or who they should be asking it to, or I just don't want to bother you.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But truly, I have a gentleman I sit down with over at Cal State San Marcos who's just got such a great amount of knowledge. I mean, I think he's in his mid-70s now.
Yeah.
But super conversational, just spry, and just so willing to share. Every time I see him, he's handing me another book.
Oh, I
You know what
love
mean?
that.
Yeah, and just always just got, well, I need to connect you with this. Asking me the right questions so that he can figure out how to connect me. It's nothing like somebody who wants to be asked questions.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But you're not going to find them unless, like you said, you're doing some networking and you're putting yourself out there.
Exactly. And don't get me wrong, it was scary. 18, 19 networking. It was just you don't even know who you are at that time. But I would travel to Boston because, like I said, New Hampshire was small. So it's not a lot of networking events that you would want to go to to expand your knowledge and to network with the people you want to be around. So, yeah, it was very scary. It was very awkward because when you're 18, 19, Lord Jesus,
Listen,
you don't know.
At any age, right? Especially for folks who haven't really been taught how to network.
Yes.
A lot of folks, they get in there and they just go stand in a corner or something like that, right? Or they just start drinking until they get loose. And then they just start running them out to everybody. And that's not necessarily good networking either, right? The key is kind of find your ground and really to be perceptive, like you said. I think that's a good lesson for folks who want to become good at networking.
Yeah.
Don't think you have to be the person bouncing off the walls and standing on the tables.
Yeah.
really, or just running up to everybody that you can find and hey, it's me, I'm here. It's not about that. Really, it's more of a dance, and that dance starts with figuring out how everybody else is stepping. So your early perception, the way that you were as a young person, still carries on, and you're a good networker to this day because of that. You're paying attention, be a good listener. That helps you be a good networker.
Yeah.
Right?
And I'm learning every time I go to networking events, because there's something always to get out of it. It's times where I don't even feel like networking, but if I don't, if you don't push yourself to do it and stay consistent with it, you're never going to become good at it. And then it becomes more of a natural thing. It becomes like, man, I want to see people. I want to meet people, So.
Yeah, I have a thing that I say a lot, which is like, I love meeting strangers.
Yep. I love it.
Yeah. It might sound weird, but it's true. You know what I'm saying? We could talk over and over with everybody that we already know, but it's not like bringing somebody else into that fold.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think it's time for the reveal. I think we got here. This is
Okay.
it. Okay. So bloombyshaniece.com is hands down the most ambitious, informed, and one of the most ambitious, informed, and well-rounded websites I've ever seen from a fitness coach. Now, maybe that's because she's also a lifestyle coach. Her website and Instagram posts alone are full of enough information and wisdom to make you drop your phone right now and run up a mountain because you knew you could do it. You just had to hear it from Shaniece. Yeah, she's that good. And since most people are just a few days into their New Year's resolutions, her presence today couldn't be more timely. Once again, welcome Shaniece to our show.
Oh, thank you so much, Zeke, for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. This is fun. I appreciate getting to know you. Like I said, we didn't get a chance to do it that day. So this is like, I'm learning so much about you.
Yeah.
And I've seen, videos and pictures and all this stuff. Like I said, I've been on the website and all, but this is more. This is a lot more. And New Hampshire. I never met someone from New Hampshire, so this is a first for me too.
A lot of people don't even know what New Hampshire is. They're like, is that Vermont? I'm like, no, it's a state.
Yeah.
Vermont's its own state too.
Yeah. But now that you said how small it is, now I can picture. I remember.
Exactly.
I know where it is on the map. And
Yep.
It is very small. But you guys you're on the coast, aren't you?
We're on the coast and it's beautiful. I cannot deny that. And
Is it legitimate beach or is it?
no,
Okay.
definitely
So you
not.
just see water.
Yes, you don't want to go to the beach.
Okay. I'm sorry, I messed it up. Living in San Diego, I'm over here talking about beaches, and you're trying to tell me how great the coast is, and I'm like, but how about the beach? No.
No, San Diego is the place for that.
I love
San Diego is just so beautiful.
We need to find out, how'd you get here?
I got here because my mentor pushed me out, and I knew I wanted to get out, but I was scared. Like I said before, my parents, coming from a really close-knit family, like both their parents even know each other, their family members. I have so many aunts and uncles and stuff like that, and leaving was very uncomfortable, but I knew if I want to blossom into, and that's where Bloom comes from.
Okay.
If I wanted to blossom into the woman I always knew I could be, I had to step out of my comfort zone and do something that my family, my parents, no one ever done before. They never moved to another state. They probably moved to another state, but not across the country. So
Yeah, that's huge. Had you guys visited? Had you visited before?
actually, when I was 19, I actually decided to do some type of what is it called? Network marketing, right? And I had an aunt and a cousin that was doing network marketing, and they're just like, they introduced me to it at 19. So I was like, okay, I'll do it. I'll try it, just to see what that was all about. And they flew me to California because I actually have an aunt that lives in Palm Springs.
Okay.
So that's how I got acquainted with California. And when I came here when I was 19, Lord, I was just like, I have to move here. But at that time I had a boyfriend, and when you have that young love.
Yeah. You didn't invite him to Palm Springs with you, obviously. He might have felt the same way. I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you. So you came out here by yourself.
I came out here by myself when I was 19.
No, I mean like to move out here. When you moved out here, it was just your big leap.
Yes, my big leap.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Going off on your own.
Yeah. I packed my car. A friend drove me across the country. I was trying to drive, but I decided not to. We did drive, but they did most of the driving because they like to drive. So it was like, it was beautiful just to see all the different states and things like that. And I will never forget that day. That was the best thing that has happened to me, packing my car, coming out here.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. Okay, so now let's talk about Bloom by Shaniece. Okay, now tell me, you kind of just explained where the name came from. You just blossom,
yes,
right? And then you turn that into a blog.
Yep.
Right. And what were you talking about in the blog?
So the blog was, I basically wanted to just do a blog on how to live your best life. And that's by living healthy, because that's where that came from. In 2015, I was more cognizant of what was happening in my family: high blood pressure, diabetes, a lot of food-related health issues that could have been prevented. So I wanted to give more knowledge on how to eat healthy, how to exercise. I love fashion, so I gave a little bit of that. And then basically interviewing a lot of women that were thriving in their business, in their career. And at the same time, that was like basically I was gaining so much knowledge from them just by interviewing them, because I was so inspired by a lot of these women that were thriving in their business.
So you just went out just interviewing people and then blogging about. Wow.
I just reached out to people on social media, anyone that I was inspired by, gave it a chance. I was just like, you know what? If they say no, they say no. But most of them said yes.
That's awesome. So. See, I told you she was ambitious. That's dope. Okay, so now fitness as a mentality, right? A lifestyle. Exercise as a lifestyle. How do you combine those two? How do you juxtapose them?
So I would have to say, so the blog was just what I started. And then in 2019, because I was getting so many emails and questions about how to live a healthy lifestyle, what type of exercises they should do to get a certain body, I was just like, you know what? Let me just give this a try, see how I like it. And I started coaching. And so the coaching, I was just like, it can't just be on the physical side of things. It has to be holistic, and it has to be about personal development, because that's what I am so passionate about. I love personal development. So I combine those two together. And so it's all about, just the whole fitness and lifestyle is just about having the mindset to stick with the workouts, basically stick with eating healthy, exercise, and things like that.
But, okay. Why? Yeah, no, I mean, like, why? I understand. I know the answer.
Okay.
Right? Okay. Why should people eat healthy? Why should they be so dedicated to that healthy living? Why should they, I understand. One of the things I was reading about on the website was talking about combating stress with healthy living, right?
So basically, yes. So a lot of people are working a lot. They're trying to balance work-life balance, and they're stressed out. They're stressed out. They're burnt out, overworked. And so by working out and taking care of yourself and giving yourself, this is self-love. You only have one body, so you need to take care of it. And the reason behind that, if you want to be able to pour into other people, like your family, your work, being more focused and things like that, taking care of yourself is number one key. That's the number one key to be able to be energized throughout the day and not be sluggish. Because how many of you guys truthfully could say after lunch you feel like you want to go to sleep? Because it's the food you're eating.
Yeah.
When these are during lunchtime, after lunch is the most productive time that you should still be dedicated to work and things like that.
Okay.
But if you're eating certain types of foods, you're going to go to sleep and you're not focused anymore. The clarity's gone. And then by the time you get home, if you have any kids or you have your spouse or whatever, you don't feel like doing anything. You just feel like getting right on the couch, watching Netflix.
Yeah.
So when you take care of you, when you put yourself number one, you put yourself first, and you dedicate and you block out time to take care of you, everything else is going to fall into place. Everything in your life.
I love it. When it comes to your wedding, you want to look and feel your best. You don't need to settle for anything less than perfection on the most important day of your life. With Meraki Allure, you can have a custom designed and measured wedding dress that is exactly what you imagine. They will work with you to choose the perfect style and materials so you can enjoy your dream wedding day knowing that you look stunning. Let Meraki Allure help make your special day unforgettable. Book your consultation today at MerakiAllure.com. The Same Business Different Day podcast is brought to you by YourInsurancePlace.com. YourInsurancePlace.com is a conglomeration of two agencies, Network One Insurance and Bill Corley Insurance Agency. Their property and casualty agents and brokers specialize in commercial insurance of all types, general liability, workers' compensation, professional liability, auto, agribusiness, and much more. They also have great insurance carriers for your homes and autos. How do I know they are that good? Because I'm one of the agents. We believe in ourselves, and you will too. Contact us at yourinsuranceplace.com or call us direct at 866-384-0479. That's yourinsuranceplace.com. And so, we're talking healthy living overall. We're not just talking about, hey, just go be a gym rat, drink as many protein shakes as you can, and just keep pushing, tearing up your tendons, trying to push the biggest weights that you can find. But we're talking about really kind of balance.
Yes. And I always tell people, I tell my clients this, how do you start off your day? Do you start off your day with having your cell phone and reading emails or going on Instagram or social media? How do you start your day off? So basically, I guide my clients and tell people, meditation is a number one key to get in focus when you wake up in the morning. Set an intentions of what you want to focus on. What is your purpose for that day? Whether it's at work, whether it's being a better parent to your child, having more patience with your husband, or whatever it may be. Yeah. Focusing on you at the beginning of the day is going to spill into everything else.
I like that.
And
I like that. Also, what I was reading, something you mentioned about avoiding self-sabotage.
Ooh.
Right? And I think that's kind of what you're talking about, because there are so many ways to just like you said, get on a social media and just like, okay.
It's distractions. So many distractions. If you don't organize your day the day before, like say, for example, you want to go to the gym. You say you're going to go to the gym, right? Or you're going to do a 20-minute workout, because it doesn't have to be. The thing is when people look at working out and eating healthy, they think it has to be this hard work. Mm-hmm. You can put 20 minutes in, depending on what workouts you do. You can get your body in really good shape in 20 minutes, taking 20 minutes out of your day.
That's right.
Creating more flexibility. Even certain foods you eat, you can still eat the food you like, but are you eating that every single day?
Right.
You know what I mean? Everything in moderation.
I love it. And it's another important piece that what you were just saying, about just finding a little time, right? And especially for people right now who are kind of working from home, right? People who are trying to stay in shape during the pandemic, or, you mentioned like solo walks or like little hikes and things like that, where, like you said, you can just dedicate a little bit of time for yourself and taking care of yourself, and it can help so much in the long run.
Exactly. And one other thing I would have to say is, like, what are you listening to every day?
Okay.
What are you listening to in the morning or in the afternoon when you take your breaks? Are you listening to something that's going to uplift you?
Right.
Or are you listening to things that are going to tear you down? One of the things that I do when I'm working out in the morning, or say if I'm not working out and I decided I have to get some work done, put on who is a person that inspires you. Put on some positive either it's affirmations or positive things. Like Brandon Bouchard is one of the motivational speakers that I listen to. He's really good. He talks about basically how to live a charged life, and that's basically being able to balance your life and in a holistic way. So what are the things that you listen to, and what do you feed into yourself? What do you feed into your mind? Right. So I would say that, starting your morning off is going to be able to set you off to a great start.
I like what you're saying, because there's so much balance in what you're saying. You're not just talking about going to the gym and just staying in the gym. You're talking about being able to work effectively, eating properly, and what you're listening to. Yeah. Right? Motivation over procrastination. There's so much of that, out there. It's so easy to procrastinate, right? And if you're living healthy, then a lot of that kind of goes away even on its own. Exactly.
And just awareness, you know what I mean? If you're not aware of, we're not perfect, but if you're not aware of the areas in your ways on how to improve, then you're going to just continue to keep doing the same thing over and over. Mm-hmm. A lot of times what I thought was pretty awesome is that I found out that if you're starting any particular goal that you want to achieve faster, if you have someone to hold you accountable, 75%, if you basically have a coach, have a mentor that holds you accountable, it's 75% likely that you're going to achieve that goal. That's huge. Instead of you just saying, oh, okay, I'm going to set this goal, I'm going to do it, but you don't have any strategies in place to get there. But if you basically talk to someone each day and do a check-in call, there is 95% for sure that you will achieve your goal, because someone's holding you accountable and they're checking in with you every single week. That can be a coach, that can be a mentor, that could be a friend that's highly motivated. Mm-hmm. You guys can't be on the same level, because you guys will be like, oh no, next time.
Right. No, I like that. Yeah. And actually I read about that too, the goal exchange.
Yes.
Yeah. Holding yourself and others accountable.
Yeah.
That's dope. Okay, so now speaking of goal setting.
Okay.
New Year's resolutions. Everybody does them, or not everybody, but a lot of folks do them around this time of year.
Yeah.
And now, how do we accomplish them? How do we follow through on these New Year's resolutions? A lot of them do have to do with healthy living. Now, obviously, these people, if they want to be healthy in January, they probably want to be healthy in life.
Yes.
They probably want to be healthy all 12 months.
Yep.
But how long are they going to make it if they're not holding themselves accountable, if others aren't holding them accountable? How do you set reasonable goals, proper goals, and then actually attainable to get it, through 12 months?
Yeah. Okay. So I would have to say, don't be afraid to invest in yourself. Like I said, get a coach, or if you have a mentor that's willing to work with you, get one of them. The second thing too, if you do not know how to get to your goal, that's where that coach or trainer will come in and help you create that particular task on how to do it. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when we have this big goal, but we don't have the steps to get there, it can be very challenging.
Right.
So if you are unclear about how to get there, start asking around. Talk to people that have already done it before. Mm-hmm. Don't try to create the wheel all over again.
Right.
There's no reason for that.
What makes sense to me too is not just going like cold turkey, right? Everybody thinks, okay, January 1st, it's over. It's a wrap. It's on.
Yeah.
Like, how about a ramp up? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
How about a January goal, a February goal, and on and on?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And then you're working your way up to something big.
Exactly. And that's where those action steps come in. Mm-hmm. So you want to create small goals within that particular goal. You want to create action plans. And then the main thing is organizing your day. If your day is not organized, and I know it honestly takes 15 minutes to figure out what you're going to do each day, blocking off time to make sure. So if someone wants to write a book, if your goal is to write a book, you need to block off an hour or 45 minutes or whatever you can give every day to that. Mm-hmm. If you don't block off your time, then your time's all over the place and you're just like, man, I didn't get anything done. So it's about organizing your schedule, creating action plans, and having accountability.
I love it. Now, you're also doing online style coaching as well, right?
Yeah, so basically everything's 100% online. So I do fitness and lifestyle coaching. They're both together. So I show people how to create. A lot of times, many people will say, I don't have enough time to do that. You know, there's no work-life balance. That doesn't exist. It does exist. It's all about how do you come into your days.
You love it.
If you want something, I don't care what situation you're in, or if you have a lot, all of us have to work to create a living. We all have things we have to get done. But if it's very important to you, you will block off that time to make things happen.
I love it. And, you know, what's so important, you know, considering the comparing to when I grew up.
Yep.
Just drop it in the phone on the calendar. Reminders.
Yep.
It'll just knock out that time for you, but set it up.
Yep.
And then just follow it.
Yeah.
You know, hold yourself to it.
Or you know what? I always tell people to write their goals down too. And write their, like, because obviously it's easy to just type in your goals in your phone. But how often are you even looking at your goals? Are you looking at, you know, a lot of people set goals, but they don't even look at it after they set their goals, they write them down. They don't even look at it.
Yeah.
So how are you supposed to stay focused on getting to that goal? You have to constantly look at your goals. Have it in a place where you're going to see it every day when you wake up.
That's right.
You know,
Yeah.
so you can still stay focused, like, okay, I do know I need to dedicate my time to this.
But if you break it really down to that action plan,
Yes.
that goal should be popping up every
All
day.
the
I knew it.
time.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like it. Okay. So we're getting down to the end.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I appreciate all of this information, and I want to repeat the business lesson for the day.
Okay.
From Miss Shaniece. Network and find mentors. If you're doing something you don't want to do, put yourself out there. Right?
Yes.
That's a business lesson. That's it. Okay. So to learn more about Shaniece and to stay in touch, I want you to check out her website, Bloom by Shaniece. That's SHANIECE.com. She's also on LinkedIn at Shaniece Benson, and give her a follow on Instagram at Bloom by Shaniece. Okay. How was that?
That was good.
That we
was
got the
really
information
good.
out there?
Yep, you got everything.
Okay. I really, seriously, really appreciate you being here and really appreciate you sharing. I do want to ask you, as we said, this is Meraki season.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm interested in knowing, as you know, Meraki means to do something with love and putting a piece of yourself into what you do, and you clearly do that. I'm interested to know, what is your Meraki?
My Meraki is to continue to live a life of purpose, helping other people to live a healthy lifestyle so they can be more energetic and happy to live in their purpose.
I love it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you
You're
so much
welcome.
for sharing. I really appreciate you
Of
being here.
course.
We want to say to the Same Business Different Day listeners to like and subscribe us on at Same Biz Pod, SAMEBIZPOD, and at A Different Day Radio. Don't forget to comment and hashtag Meraki Season, MERAKI Season. Thank you all for listening, and thank you for your support. We did it.
Yeah.
Same Business, Different Day. Thank you for listening to Same Business, Different Day. We truly appreciate your support. Please like, subscribe, and leave a nice comment on all platforms. It really helps our show. The Same Business, Different Day podcast is produced by A Different Day Radio, Star Fox Media, and James Russell.